Welcome back to your Caribou Data Science channel, Buckeye Nation. Okay, today is Monday, March 29, 2021. I got some more frustrating news about how the numbers in Ohio are being recorded. Okay, okay, issues. What happened to my number? What happened to my question? Okay, here's the truth. You can see if we look at these numbers here. Here, there's no deaths for 3-4 from for 3-4 to 3-5. No deaths from uh, March 6th to March 8th, and so forth down the line. That's correct. Ohio is no longer announcing deaths on a daily basis. At the beginning of March, the state transitioned to a different system for tallying deaths based on death certificates. Here is a portion of the state's message. In addition to mortality data, we will no longer be reported daily. Mortality data will no longer be reported daily. Updated death certificates data is typically sent to Ohio Department of Health twice a week and may lag 1 to 2 months, up to 6 months. On dates that data is not reported in the Ohio Department of Health, deaths will remain static dashboard. For the foreseeable future, mortality information will not be updated on any specific days of the week. Cases and other data will continue to be reported. Really? How odd. Why is that? Why is that? Okay, now, and to me, I'm sorry, that's the problem. So so they're not reporting them any day of the week. The question is, will they report with both days we did no? So does that mean that the numbers for the on the third day will include both those? Does that mean Uh, and there's the trouble. Uh, I guess I have a problem with that. Uh, it's basically a cop out on the state's responsibility. First, they didn't go back and redistribute the deaths for the fourth quarter of last year, and now they're saying, "Oh, we're only going to be recording deaths, twice a week, or which of course again is artificially inflating the numbers for the day on which the deaths are reported, as you saw in my question there. Okay, that's the thing I find most a little bit frustrating here. Do we actually know what again? This goes back to the real question. Do we actually know how valid the number? This raises the question. Uh, can we trust the numbers? How many other states are doing this? How do we compare Ohio's numbers with states that aren't doing, who are recording numbers every day? They didn't give an explanation for why they're doing this. In my opinion, they gave a rationalization. Okay, that's unfortunate. Deaths are always reported, 7 days a week. But does that mean that the date on the death certificate is it only reported twice a week? There's a difference between sending death certificates in and recording the date that the death certificate was issued, or the date the death was recorded. Okay, so I mean, are they saying, for instance, that there were no deaths for the period of March 6th to March 8th? I don't know. Very frustrating. Of course, this just goes along with Sweden only counting deaths Tuesday through Friday, which creates a big spike on Tuesday because it includes Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday numbers. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so what do we want to do? Ohio. We do calculate an average down here, don't we? And then we plot that. Okay. I would say at this point, the most reliable number is going to be the weekly numbers. Okay. Let's just run this one section at a time today. Here's the news. I should add that note up here. Okay, this is where this is where we're replacing the number for this date range here, the fourth quarter. We're doing it the deaths plus 30. Okay, and then we changed the two dates for the 12th and 13th when he actually took the fourth quarter deaths and added them on to March's 12th and 13th numbers for a total of about 4,000. So we're going to change those two numbers to 800. Let's do a sum. Total deaths 1.01 cases, 16,363 deaths total. Okay, we're going to calculate a 28-day moving average and plot that. Now look at this here. While the sun is just doing this here, this is cases. Why all of a sudden are we seeing this broader line here? Okay, and why are we continuing to see a gap here if we're doing an average? You see, there shouldn't be any gaps here. Okay. So the question is, why is there a gap in there then? Well, okay. I guess we had to go with what we had to go with what we got. So you can see continuing decline in Ohio cases. This is January over here to what, maybe February. These are cases, so there shouldn't be any matter. So the cases shouldn't have changed. Okay. So you can see that the cases are you can see that cases are continuing to decline. Deaths do appear to be declining here a little bit, although it's kind of hard to tell because of this gap. What would happen if we did? Let's just do. Let's change these two lines because there shouldn't be a little gap in there. Let's try this. Now this is showing this huge spike up in here, which is really kind of odd. Okay, which is really kind of curious. This could make possible sense because once again, this is that February period when he saw numbers. But let's do line. Let's try this again. Let's try this one more time. Here you can see the continuing decline in cases. Okay. It does look as if deaths are continuing to decline here. Why we got this apparently gap there when there is no gap, I'm not really sure. But anyway, that's what the cases and deaths are showing on a daily basis. So now take a look at weekly numbers. Considering the funny things they're doing with the numbers, I would say that the weekly numbers is probably a more reliable measurement because this will include all the deaths. This basically smooths over. This way, it basically ignores the missing days because it means the total for the. And it doesn't make any difference on what day of the week these deaths are recorded, as long as recorded on the same week. So you can see down here a nice steady decline in cases over here. Okay. What about deaths? Well, you can see really that the deaths really aren't haven't decreased that much. A little bit from here down to here, but on a weekly basis, they really haven't changed that much. Okay. Let's take a look at monthly cases and monthly deaths. Okay. Cases are looking very good for the month of March. Again, this number, February number, includes 4,000 deaths, which aren't part of the original numbers. What about top 5 counties as far as cases go? Franklin County for the previous 7 days had the most cases, over 125 cases. And what about Franklin County? Franklin County cases had a decline now, appears to maybe starting to trend back up a little bit. You can see deaths climb back above, say, but still under 10 deaths, then started to level out a little bit. So anyway, we just have to go with what the government gives us. In this case, it's some empty dates in which there's no deaths reported. When I should say no, there are the dates which, of course, don't all occur in the same week or the same days, but they are in fact the dates on which no deaths were recorded by the state. Okay, so let's run this from the top here real quick. So this concludes the report for Ohio for